This is Math 3, SBAC worksheet number 6. Okay, here we are determining the types of solutions. So let's review a few things here. Solution types. Okay. Okay, and it mentions the word extraneous, okay, and radical, okay, real or not real, okay? So you're gonna have imaginary or not real, aka imaginary, and that's when you have square root of a negative number, okay? Okay, so that would be no real solution. Okay, that's the first one. The second one here would be if you have more than one real solution, okay? And so when you square root something, let's say you have an x squared equals I don't know, a number like 4. If you square root that, you have to remember that it's absolute value of 2, which means that you're going to have your positive x is 2 and your negative x is 2, which gives you 2 solutions. And those would both be real, unless I have a negative in there, okay? Okay, and another situation is when you would have no solution at all, okay, and that might be something like if you have let's see, an x over x plus 3 equals x plus 3. And then let's see, let's put a number up here. I forgot what I was going to do. What if I put an x here and then I change that one to a minus? Okay. Change that one to a minus. Okay, so if you were to cross multiply on something like this, you would have x times x plus 3 equals x times x minus 3. You just cross multiply. That'd be x squared plus 3x equals x squared minus 3x, but your x's would cancel here. Dang it, I thought I was going to give you one with no solution there. Dang it, that's going to be 6x equals 0. So I guess that works, but I was hoping that it wouldn't. Okay, anyway. I'll show you when that one comes up and come up with a good example. Okay, so here, if I'm going to do no real solution, one solution, or infinitely many, infinitely many is going to be if you have something where x equals x. Infinitely many. Okay. All right, so here for that first one, number 1, if I take that equation here, square root of x plus 2 equals 0, and I subtract 2, I would have square root of x equals negative 2. The problem here is, yes, I can square it and then negative 2 would go away, but if you think about this property, a square root, a radical, has to be positive. It can never be negative. So this one would have no solution. Okay, radicals cannot equal negative values. Neither can absolute value. So I would say no real solution. Even though it's not imaginary either, it's just not a real solution. Okay, next one, I'm going to have 10 over x equals 20 over x plus 20. I'm going to cross multiply I'll have 10 times x plus 20 equals 20x. That'll be 10x plus 200 equals 20x. Subtract 10 on both x on both sides. And if I divide by 10, I get 20, okay, which is one real solution. Okay, one more. I've got 3 over x equals 2 over x plus 1. When I cross multiply, I'll have 2x equals 3x plus my distribute, I'll get 3. If I subtract, I'll get negative x equals 3, and then if I divide, I get x equals negative 3. That is a real solution. Okay. Okay, so nothing funky came up in that one. Okay, here it looks like might get some more funky ones. Okay, so let's see, I may have to get another piece of scratch paper. For number 2, I have 3x plus 5 equals 0. If I subtract 5, root 3x equals negative 5. I can't square root I can't have a negative here. Okay. No solution. It'd have to be imaginary. Okay, here I'm going to cross multiply. So I have my 4x over 12 equals 3x over 9. When I cross multiply, I get 36x. And when I cross multiply, I get 36x. So I can see that relationship of x equals x, or they're identical on both sides. Okay, so that one's going to be infinitely many. Okay, okay, so identical left and right sides. Okay. So the next one is 5 over x plus 2 equals 3 over x. When I cross multiply, I get 5x equals 3x plus 6, or 2x equals 6, x equals 3. That's one real solution. And my last one here is kind of funky. We've never done an equation quite like that one. So let's see, I might work that one out right here. X squared minus 7 equals 3. It's positive, so I could have a solution. Okay, so I'm going to square both sides. X squared minus 7 equals 9. I'm going to add the 7 to both sides. X squared equals 16. I'm going to square root both sides. I'm going to get absolute value of x equals 4, giving me two solutions. X equals positive or negative 4, and that's because I'll have a positive x equals 4 and a negative x equals 4. So two real solutions there. Okay, next one, the student solves this equation and it wants to know which statement is an accurate interpretation of the student's work. Interpretation means as I'm analyzing the work, what's true about it. Okay, so when I look here, I can see that the student subtracted 1 on both sides. Hey, Debbie!
Recording?
Yeah, I'm almost done now. I'm on this last one right now. And then right here, I can see that they squared both sides, but remember earlier when we had no solution? Okay, so right here, when I have that radical no solution, I'm looking at here step 2. X equals 4 is a solution to B in step 2, but not the original equation. Let me see here. If I plug in 4, that is not correct. The student made an error in step 3. Maybe so. The student made an error in step 1. The correct solution is 4. I know it's not 4 because that is imaginary or not a real solution. Student made an error in step 1. I don't see an error there. Student made an error in step 3. Okay. That's where I'm thinking it must have went wrong. For 1, you would have had absolute value and then plus or minus, but that doesn't work there. So I'm going to say C.